Just me, I'm C, and this is Kickback Astrology. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Alright, I'm sorry, I quit. But you know what time it is. Grab your guards, grab your woodies, grab your glasses, do what you need to do. Kick back how you kick back. I'ma kick back how I kick back. And let's get into some of these birth charts. Come on with it. Alright, so now we're gonna get into some of Wendy's aspects. She doesn't have too many. Well, she has a few, but she doesn't have too many that are worth discussing, I guess you would say. That are too interesting, I guess you would say. But she doesn't really have too many concerning ones, I guess you would say. That would be the best way. Concerning ones where you would be like, ooh. You know, sometimes you see a birth chart, you just like, ooh. Her worst one would probably be. See, she has this moon. She has her moon conjunct Neptune in Scorpio. See, that was the first one I was like, ooh. So with her moon conjunct Neptune, we ain't gonna even get to the Scorpio. We already discussed the moon in Scorpio, so you already know where she coming from with that. So we gonna add Neptune to the situation. So with your moon being conjunct Neptune, you know that's going to automatically. What do we know about Neptune? Neptune rules the 12th house. You know what I mean? Neptune rules Pisces, water. It's all about, you know what I mean, the nebulous. It's all about, things you can't see, things unknown, the greater, you know what I mean, greater power, whatever have you, the wave. Things, you know what I mean? Things unseen and things unheard but are bigger than you and things like that. It's all about, you know what I mean, escapism, delusion, you know what I mean, things like that. It's all about fantasy and things like that. In that element, all things you can't really put your good grip on. Just anything you can't really. Is it really there? Is this really a thing? Or no? Is it really like anything like that? So that's what Neptune is all about: dreams and delusions and all of that. The wave, like the sound, riding the wave. You know what I mean? The vibes. I like to say the vibes. Neptune rule the vibes. Like that's how I like to look at it. Neptune is all about the vibes because it's not about what's in the air. You feel me? You know how you walk in a room and you just feel the vibe. That's Neptune. You feel me? You know how you turn on a song and it's just a vibe. It ain't even a good song. It's just a vibe. Like, okay then. And it just touch everybody and everybody feel the same. That's that Neptune. That's that. You know what I mean? Everything is everything. That's that energy. That's where you coming from when you see Neptune. So that's what you gotta think of. Everything is everything. You feel me? No bounds, no boundaries. Just like I said, everything is everything. Just it is what it is. So when you bring that into your moon, you're gonna. That's how you're gonna be emotionally. You see what I'm saying? Your emotions know no bounds. You're gonna wear your heart on your sleeve, so to speak. You're gonna feel things. You know what I mean? Feel everything, not just things. You're gonna feel everything. You're gonna be very sensitive. This is gonna make her even more sensitive. You see what I'm saying? Where she was already sensitive with that sun and Cancer, this is going to make her even more sensitive, even more receptive to everything and everybody's emotions and what everybody has going on, not just her own. You see what I'm saying? Which may be good for her with that moon in Scorpio, where she'll focus a little bit more on her own, but it may not, because if you're delusional and you diving deep into your delusions, you see how this could be a problem. If you're an escapist and an addict, you see how that those things don't compound very well. You know what I mean? Those things don't compound. So Wendy's gonna be a very sensitive person internally, but that moon in Scorpio is gonna help her to hide it. But that's why you see like sometimes she can't hide it. So this also contributes to her addictions. Like I said before, uh, Neptune is all about escapism, and Pluto is all about diving into the depths. So you know what I mean? This is why she probably even was susceptible to addiction to begin with, and that Scorpio just drug her down and you feel me, brought her down into it. But this is gonna make her susceptible to begin with, where she's already a dreamer, she's already an escapist, she's already a creative. You see what I'm saying? Neptune is like that creativity that can touch everybody, whereas Venus is like what you appreciate. You see what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Like, but it relates. Venus relates. So you'll like it and you'll like adapt it to, you know what I mean, fulfill your audience and things like that. But for the most part, it's your creativity. Now, Sun is all about like just what you want. This is what I like, and then yeah, then you like it, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool. Venus is more so like, okay, I like this, you like that. Let me bring that together, and we both like this, and this is a greater thing. The Neptune is like, this is what everybody fucks with. You see what I'm saying? This is what everybody on. This is everybody's time. You feel me? Not just me and you, not just you. This is everybody. You see what I'm saying? You got to grasp that concept. So Wendy Williams, this makes sense that Wendy Williams said she was always a very creative child. She always liked to, break things down and like not necessarily break things down, but she always liked to like sew, and that has to do with that Venus and Gemini too, where she's good with her hands and she's able to sew. But that Moon and Neptune is going to make her that have that initial like, okay, I need to change this up. I need to, you know what I mean? That initial creative idea, like, nah, that ain't hitting. Let me hit it. So it makes sense that she would already been a creative child, a dreamer. She always, you know what I mean, saw herself. She always had a dream. Like, everybody that doesn't have like a dream like that, but she was always a dreamer, you know what I mean, by her own description, you feel me? She was willing to work for it with that Moon in Scorpio, but she was always a dreamer to begin with. She was always a creative to begin with. She always liked to draw and things like that to begin with. So which that Venus and Geminis help her with that, like I said, with that hand and being able to make pleasant things with your hands and things like that. That will help her with that. But this is going to be that initial, even the interest to do it, even having that initial thought to create, even wanting to create something that touches everyone. You know what I mean? Who really wants to. Someone who wants to touch everyone, you know what I mean? Things like that. So this is going to bring that energy, but she's also going to feel everything from everyone because this is receptive energy. Remember, your moon receives. Your moon doesn't put out, your sun puts out. Your moon receives. So she's going to be like 10 times more receptive than everybody else to like certain things. So like this divorce is probably like really doing her bad. Like divorce does everybody bad, but like she's very sensitive, so she's like feeling her son's emotions and she's feeling Kevin's emotions, even though they're not even together. You see what I'm saying? Like that Moon and Neptune makes you receptive to everybody, so she's gonna feel how it's going to impact everything. You see what I'm saying? So she's like, she's feeling how her family will feel about it. She's feeling how her son feels. She's feeling her feeling. She's feeling Kevin feeling. She's feeling everybody feeling. If y'all understand what I'm saying with that Moon and Neptune, because that's what she's receiving all of that energy, but also she's able to, you know what I mean, relate to so many, you know what I mean, and emote. This not necessarily relate, but like you can feel her. You feel me? This is why she's able to like, even though she's not liked, you still feel for Wendy. Like, people weren't cheering for her divorce or anything. People still felt for Wendy. Like, even though most people don't like her ways, they still felt for her because it's like, like, you feel me? Like, yeah, that lady going through, she done slipped back into her addiction and all of that, like, and that'll happen with that moon. Like I said, with that moon in Scorpio diving into the depths, and that Neptune making her receptive to escapism and things like that. I mean, when shit go wrong and when she's feeling overwhelmed and when she's taking in all of those things, you feel me, she's going to want to escape from them. You feel me? Whether that's into a creative passion, you know what I mean, or that's into drugs or something like that that takes you out of what you're going through. But that's going to be something that she's susceptible to. So that's why you saw her, like, you know what I mean, probably even start to do coke anyway, you know what I'm saying, before she even got to the crack. You feel me? It's levels to this shit. That's why she even took the first bump anyway, just, you know what I mean, wanting to wanting to be in tune with everybody and everything and then escapism and going into the nebulous and trying to feel the vibes and be on the wave and shit, and you done got stuck on that motherfucker. Now you lost in the goddamn. How you get lost in the sauce like that? You'll be like, God damn. You know how motherfucker just. How you do that? Yeah, you lost in the motherfucker sauce, boy. It happens though. Yeah, you just gotta find your way out. But yeah, that's what happened with that Neptune. You just go too far. You'll get to escaping too much. You like it a little bit too much. You feel me? She probably shouldn't even touch nothing. And she would have been alright. She could have just, you know what I mean, went into her creativity and whatnot. But no. Boy, the moment she picked up that coat, I could have told her. When I pulled this chart, I could have told her, you might not. Go paint or something. That's what I saw. You need to paint or something. I really think you should find a different extracurricular activity. This ain't for you. You feel me? You know how most people will be like, I do you. You know what I mean? Ain't just, no, you got to find something else to do, my nigga. That ain't for you. The way your chart set up, yeah, not the way your bank set, the way your chart set up, that ain't gonna be what's up for you. Straight up. Like I said before, this is also why she kind of wears her heart on her sleeve a little bit, and it was probably a little bit easier for her to be manipulated by her husband and whatnot, because the things that she cares about and the things that are close to her, there is no bounds with them. You see what I'm saying? That Neptune is conjunct her moon. The things that she loves, the things that are closest to her, her comfort zone, there's no bounds with it. You see what I'm saying? There's no, you know what I mean? There's no stop to it. There's no ends to what she would do. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a fantasy. Think of a fantasy. You just gotta think of a fantasy. Like, imagine being your internal world. You see what I'm saying? So she'll do whatever. You know what I mean? She's trying to create that storybook, and that's gonna create that where she wants that kind of that storybook, that fantasy, that in trying to create that, but not really being able to, and being stubborn in it. Because remember, Scorpio's a fixed sign, so she's gonna be stubborn in those things, and it's just. And then you delusional in Scorpio. If it's one place you don't want to be in a dream at, listen. But yeah, so that's why you saw, like, even though she was going through so much and she was in a toxic situation, it was kind of hard for her to see that for a long time, even though, like, Charlemagne even said he was around and he recognized it and he tried to put her up, and I'm sure different people tried to, you know what I mean, talk to her and things like that, but she was just in her own little world, and she was escaping, and she was doing drugs, and she had a whole lot going on. That's that moon conjunct Neptune. She got a whole lot. Everything is everything, no bounds. She feeling everything, doing everything, getting lost in the dream, all of that. And then at the same time, this is you in hell. You in hell while you doing all this. Remember, it's a Scorpio. You in the depths while you doing all this shit. All this going on around you, and then you trying to create still. And it's just like, it's a whole lot going on. But this is also why Wendy is like comfortable in front of a camera and things like that, because uh your 12th house in Neptune, it has a lot to do with like behind the scenes and things like that. Like I said, the things you can't see, the behind the scenes, different cameras and movies and things like that, fantasy. So she's very good in front of the camera, you know what I mean, like acting and things like that, and disappearing into a character. Because remember, when you're a character, you're not necessarily changing yourself, so you're not transforming like where it will be a permanent change, but you're engulfing that character. You know what I mean? You're putting yourself in that character completely. You know what I mean? That nebulousness where it's like like I said, everything is everything. There are no boundaries. There's no, you know what I mean, line between you and that character if you really playing that character right. You know what I mean? That's that Neptune, and Neptune allows you to do that, where you can totally escape your own ego and take on somebody else's identity, or like, you know what I mean, another character or something like that, and that's outside of your own ego type of thing. That's that Neptune energy. So that's why she's able to do that. So even like I said, she's like dying and going through the spirit home. That moon and Scorpio, moon conjunct Neptune is gonna allow her to, you know what I mean, be able to step into that character, even with, like, as soon as that camera cuts on, she can be Wendy. You feel me? She can be Wendy. It ain't got to do nothing but Wendy Hunter. She can just be Wendy Williams. You feel me? It ain't nothing to her. And once it cut off, she can go back. You know what I mean? Because everything is everything. There's no bounds. Everybody is. You know what I mean? She's going with the vibe. So I got to do what I got to do. But this also enables her to, like I said, connect with a lot of people and be understanding. And you know what I mean? Understand how, like she like. Oh, excuse me, but like be more understanding, and like, you know how she's like very pro, like she speaks out against addiction and things like that, and she was like very hurt by Whitney's passing, by the same addiction that she had and things like that. That's why you see that she's like very receptive to that. Like, she really was hurt. You know what I mean? Like, even though she has this disposition, like that moon conjunct Neptune, she's really a very emotional person. She's really very in tune with everything that's going on. She's gonna feel it all. You feel me? Even if she don't say nothing, you know what I mean? She feels it all. She's gonna feel everything that's going on around her and kind of get lost in it, but she has to not do that. But she's going to be, like I said, susceptible to it because that Neptune has her vulnerable, has her guards down, has her in a dream world, in a you know what I mean, in a fantasy, in a character, in a, and it's just like, mm-mm. And then the Scorpio, whew, boy, it took the breath out of me. I didn't even go through it, but that's yeah. Woo! It was. I know it was rough for Wendy to stop drugs, and I see why she went back. Like, boy, listen, I ain't judging you, girl. I ain't judging you, cause then when it get dark, that moon conjunct that you activating that Neptune every time you activate your moon. So that's also why like Kevin was able to get that off as long as he was because she was more prone to like just escaping as opposed to like dealing with the situation head on or trying to leave it or anything. She already left it and I'm out of here. Mentally, you know what I mean? She didn't escape from it. So it ain't about the physical. It ain't about the physical, trust and believe. She was already out of there a long time ago, you feel me? And the drugs just help along with that. And then you saw her like when she slipped back into it when he had that baby, it was just like, and then she probably caught herself like, nah, I can't do that. I done did that before, trying to, you know what I mean? But that would be her initial, you know what I mean, response, because she has that moon with Neptune. Initial response is just when that feelings, when that moon is activated, when that comfort zone is threatened, alright, I need to escape. And it ain't necessarily physical escape. Like I said, it's a mental thing. It's a fantasy thing. It's a, okay, I need to create another image, another role, another something that's going to bring that comfort back. You know what I mean? I need to do something other than that, but not addressing it. Addressing ain't it. So naturally, you can imagine when you're always escaping and you're always in a fantasy or you're always, you know what I mean, you're receptive to everything and have no bounds. A lot of the times when he feels like she doesn't belong anywhere, like in an interview, she was saying, I'm saying she feel like she doesn't belong anywhere, but in the interview, she was saying she didn't feel like she even belonged with her family because she was saying when she was growing up, she couldn't really find her spot in her family, and that's that moon conjunct Neptune, where it's like, because remember escapism and abandonment and things like that. So you know what I mean? It ain't necessarily you escaping all the time. Sometimes motherfuckers leaving you high and dry. So I'm just saying. But it's like that moon conjunct Neptune is why she felt that way. You see what I'm saying? Because she has no bounds and she has like, if you're everything, then you're nothing type of thing. You know what I mean? You have no boundary, you have no personality, you have no ego, you have no consistent anything. Like, how are you going to define a role if you are constantly escaping and creating fantasies and changing your character and, you know what I mean? So you'll be left not knowing where you're at just based on your actions, you see what I'm saying? But when you're young, you're not processing it like that. And when you're older, I mean, you ain't processing like that anyway. But that's why she'll end up feeling like that because she's in her own little fantasy world and ain't nobody in this ain't nobody in Wendy world. Like, hey, y'all want to come to Wendy world? Everybody just gone, okay, bet. And I'll stay in my own little, alright, bet. You know what I mean? Type of thing. But like, you know what I mean? If you don't really have any defining character and you can't even figure yourself out and you don't have any, like I said, ego or any one defining thing, like how can you find a role in something you don't even know what you about? You know what I mean? So she was left feeling like I said, not necessarily being abandoned but feeling like she didn't belong, you know what I mean? Just because she's so everything, so ugh. Because Neptune will do that to you. You know what I mean? Neptune will have you, like I said, lost in the sauce. Neptune will have you egoless. Neptune will have you taking in everybody else's shit, not able to figure out your shit from their shit. Like I said, you gotta think about it. Like, she got all that going on internally. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be hard for you to find a place to fit when you don't even know what's going on inside of you. You taking in everything from everybody and trying to sort it out, and then you escaping, so you're not really dealing with it. So then it's you really lost, and then how can you find a place when all of that is going on within you? You can't even sit down and really take in who you are, what you're really about, and all of that. And then you got the escapism on top of it, and then I mean, you got to process the whole thing that's going down. Then you got the escapism going on, and then you're receptive to everything, and everybody else that you can't distinguish your shit from their shit because everything is everything, and then you just lost in the goddamn sauce, and you just like, fuck it, let me get high. Facts. Wendy also has her Venus conjunct Mars, and I touched on that a little bit earlier, but now we're gonna get into it. With her Venus being conjunct Mars in Gemini, we already discussed her Venus in Gemini. So with her Mars in Gemini, that's going to be like the type of man she's attracted to. With that Venus conjunct Mars, this conjunction by itself is she's automatically going to her love nature and her aggression, her passion, her go get it nature. Yeah, I know what I call Mars, the go get it. So that go get it energy and all that passion is going to be mixed with her ability to relate the things she finds pleasurable and things like that. So off the bat, you see how this could be an issue. She's combining these two, so she's going to be, attracted to, maybe some unsavory characters, a thug passion. Yeah, a little thug passion. Wendy like a little thug passion every now and then. I think Janet had this conjunction too. They like a little thug passion every now and then. Don't judge them. Who are you to judge them? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, like a little thug passion every now and then. But the thing with this Venus conjunct Mars is this love that you have, it oftentimes burns out quickly because remember, Mars is all about the planting the flag and moving, planting the flag and moving. It's not about the long haul. It's about getting it done and moving on. It's about having that passion now, that directness, that forwardness, and then moving on to the next. So although she may have, the ability to love, this love may not last as long as maybe she would like it to. But the other things in her chart that we've already discussed make her more of a long haul kind of girl. But with just this Venus and Mars conjunction, she's going to, like be attracted to a bad boy character, like a fling here or there, you know what I mean? She's gonna like a little, love as hard as she hates, you know what I mean? She might, if it ain't rough, it ain't right. Like sometimes it might be like that, where she just like it fiery and passionate for the moment, and then let's move on. So even with this new young dude, y'all thinking she all tripping and losing her mind, Wendy just trying to get her a little thug pad. I see you, Wendy. I see you. So this also would have contributed to, what made her attracted to Kevin, whatever that name is, Mr. Williams in the first place. And because he had that, thug kind of bad boy image, and she was kind of attracted to that. But with all that water in her chart, she got stuck there. You feel me? It was more than just a little rumble. That's what it was supposed to have been. But I'm just saying, because that Venus conjunct Mars, now they can sustain relationships, like if that passion, people can keep them going. You know what I mean? Keep them on their toes, keep them going, keep moving, keep up. Pretty much, if somebody keep up with them or even move quicker, and they got to keep up with them, then they can. That love can last, a little bit longer. But in general, if you ain't with it and ain't doing a whole lot and shaking and moving, and it's in Gemini, and like I told you earlier, Gemini shake and move. It's that mutability. You got to get going. You got to be with it. You got to be quick with it. If you ain't, it's speeding it up even more. You know what I mean? Because that Venus conjunct Mars is already like quick, flash, passion, right now. What you want to do? Let's do it right now. What's up? Yeah, like that's type stuff. That's probably how Wendy was hitting this back in the day. What's up right now? You know what I mean? Straight up. Like that's what that Venus and Mars is on. So but like I said, if you're the type of person who can keep up and be even ahead of them and just moving and shaking and making it do what it do and talking and build relationships and socializing, because remember this is in Gemini. So if you're that type of person, like how we saw Kevin was, where he could do the business and he could keep up, and he was over here living a whole different life and he's still able to keep, you see what I'm saying? We can say a lot of things about him, but we can't say he wasn't doing a whole lot, you know what I mean? And Wendy kind of, she didn't need I ain't gonna say nobody need the toxicity, but that's kind of attractive to her because she likes that. Somebody who can move and shake and be mutable and go with the flow and be doing this and that and here and there and everywhere, you know what I mean? Because that's how she is really. If you really look into it, like I told you, her Venus is in Gemini, so she's doing all of these things, and so she wants somebody who, like I said, who can keep up and do all that, and that's the only way how you're gonna be able to maintain her attention for an extended period of time. You see what I'm saying? So she really ain't gonna be able to keep nobody around who ain't about nothing, who just like sit around and You know what I mean? Don't really want nothing. Ain't willing to go out there and get nothing because that Mars energy, she likes that soldier energy. That about, you know what I mean? I'ma plant this flag whether you stand in front of it or not. I'ma move you out the way. It is what it is by any means necessary. That soldier, that, you know what I mean? Period. She's also, you know, gonna like I said, somebody who's good with their words, or somebody who talk a lot of shit, talk out there, a little manipulative, you know what I mean? But somebody who, you know, has a way with words, and you gonna have to talk with, and you gonna have to hit Wendy with a little bit of game, not necessarily the most game, but you gonna have to be, you know, quick with it, able to go back and forth and things like that. Like I said, she's gonna be attracted to that aggressive nature, so you can act a little hard around when, you know what I mean. That did it for her. So where somebody else might have been turned off, like I told you, she already comfortable with that kind of dangerous element, that death and everything with that moon. You know what I mean? So she's already comfortable with it. So this Venus and Mars is conjunct Mars is just gonna, you know what I mean, make her attracted to the bad boy. You know what I mean? Make her attracted to that aggressive nature. She sees somebody with a, you know what I mean, anger problem. It ain't really gonna turn her off. That's gonna, oh, okay. Yeah, man, let me show you something. You know what I mean? So that kind of contributed to that aspect of her life as well. So that's why she may have been more so turned on by, you know, characteristics that other people were turned off by, you know what I mean? Because everybody else is like, nah, he's an asshole, all this and that, and he always all bark, no bite, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Wendy like him to bark sometime, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. You like what you like. You like it, I love it. So that was part 4 of Miss Wendy Williams' birth chart. We got to look, you know, take a peek at a few of her aspects, see how they affect her, you know, see how that Sun and Neptune contributes to, you know, some of her escapist issues, shall we say, you know, that feeling of loneliness and abandonment that she may feel sometimes, that overwhelming emotional nature that she has on the inside when she's at home by herself, even though, you know, she just may display something else when she's on her show or what have you. We also got to look at that Venus conjunct Mars, see why she kind of, you know, needs some thug passion every now and then. You know what I mean? Somebody to keep you on your toes. You know what I mean? It's all good, Wendy. I see you. I ain't mad at you, Wendy. Do you, Wendy? Do you? But as always, thanks for watching. Make sure you kick back with some of my other videos. Make sure you check out some of those group dynamic videos, you know. And let me know what you think down below. Come on with it.